Hi, everyone. Greetings, and thank you for joining me today on Turning the Moment into a Movement. I am J Love, and I represent the Justice for Gerard Movement. And as I say every week, Gerard is my son who was wrongfully convicted of a crime he didn't do, innocent, and he went to prison for that crime. And so because of that journey with Gerard, I met so many people who are fighting for someone who was wrongfully convicted. And so, because of that, and because of all of the experiences that I had on the journey of wrongful conviction, I created this platform called Turning the Moment into a Movement. And we come here on Fridays to talk about injustice, and we talk about wrongful convictions, and we talk about things that happen in our community. Um, and and we come here to educate, to motivate. Our mission is to bring awareness to the wrongful conviction of Gerard and all others who are wrongly convicted, over sentenced, mentally ill, and medically frail in our community, to inspire, organize, and educate all communities about the needs to disrupt systems, policies, and patterns of the criminal legal system that leads to wrongful convictions. And that's the reason why we come here every Friday. So thank you for joining us. I want to say hello to those who are watching us on YouTube and on Twitter. Thank you. Good morning. Good evening. Good morning. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for watching us. And for those who are watching us on Facebook as well. And we want you to subscribe to our YouTube page. We're working on our YouTube page because Facebook is sometimes weird. And so we want to build up our YouTube community. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and we will appreciate it. So this week, we're going to have a community conversation amongst us. There's been so much going on as we came back. We've been talking about the wrongful convictions of those in our community, and we've been focusing on those in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we're going to have another family that's going to be on next week. But we had a wrongful conviction summit, and when Trisha comes on, we're going to talk about that. But we decided this week for the just to come back and have a conversation and catch up about what's been going on, and maybe also catch up with Crystal and talk about that and how you can also connect with her. So I want to bring on Reverend Tia. Hi, Reverend Tia.
Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jay. Jay Love, how
Hi.
are you tonight?
I'm good, Reverend Tia. I can't complain.
Good,
I
good,
mean,
good.
but why complain? So I'm good,
I'm
Reverend
telling
Tia.
you,
How are you?
I'm so excited about this evening's conversation because we've got some people that are going to really um, bring out more information. And the best thing about our podcast here is that we help to educate the community. So no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, I am standing for justice, whether it's with Michigan Coalition for Human Rights. Um, we have our annual dinner coming up on the 12th. If you want more information, please hit me up. And you can also go to mchr.org for that. And one of um, our pillars for our own podcast is Allie. Allie Hughes will be
Yeah,
receiving an award that evening. And so we're going to be out there supporting her.
that's
Also,
right.
of course, the Choice Zone, where I'm helping people choose choose themselves. And basically that's what I do all the time. Also with a minister over at Transforming Love Community. So we have to choose ourselves. Choose choose love, choose peace, choose wisdom, choose joy, and choose what's right. And when you see injustice, make a new choice. Make a new. It's all in our choices. We get to choose, and we get to choose to stand. And I really believe that in today's society, we are at a place in society where we must take a stand for righteousness on all fronts, on all at all places, and whether it's access to health, health and wellness, food, anything, you name it, there has been a barrier, there has been a blockage, and it has been towards people of color or people who are economically at a different level. So let's make a new choice. And we choose to be here today, and I choose you, and I'm choosing love. And Jay, I choose to stand for righteousness. And I can't wait to hear our sister talk about the summit, powerful summit.
Yeah, it was very powerful. There was a nice crowd of people that attended. Um, but as soon as Trey Shay gets in here, we're gonna just have that whole conversation. But if you missed it, it's an annual event that happens every year in October, Wrongful Conviction Month. She brings out speakers and those. It's just like a really big networking event that where you can
Mhm.
come in and be amongst others who also has had been impacted by wrongful convictions. But also you'll be able to meet people that sometimes you can't get a hold of, and make those connections. So it's a
Right.
great event. I
Mhm.
see Attorney Mack is here. Greetings, Attorney Mack.
Look, much love, and once again, my apologies. But this line of work, people call. I got to try to deal with it. I apologize, but I'm here. I'm with y'all now. I'm here. I'm here. Hey, look here, look here. There was a movie called The Final Come Down, and look here. When it's going to go down, I'm gonna be with y'all now. I'm gonna be with y'all. Hey, look here. I may not get there right when it start, but I'm a damn sure be there when it finish. I'm a promise. I'm never gonna leave y'all alone, never. So forgive me, but it's just the life and situation I'm in. But thank God I'm alive to be in a situation, you know. So
Right.
so there we are. Good. I see you, Reverend T. How you doing?
I am wonderful. Glad to be here.
Amen.
And I
Amen.
see you.
Amen.
Listen, I see you. I got that email too.
Oh yeah.
Look,
Oh yeah.
I tell you, this man right here is always working. Always working. And on behalf of everybody who needs a voice in court, don't go to court alone. You better take the Mac with you.
Yeah.
Okay, Mac.
You better take attorney back with you.
That's right. That's right. Hey, look, I tell all my clients, if you love me, you'll use me.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Yes. So, well.
So you attorney Mac.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, look here. I don't never miss right. I don't never miss a show call. I apologize. Look here. Dr. Hugo J. Mack Esquire, proud to be with y'all today, you know, and thanking my Lord God, Jesus Christ, for another day, a day that I've never seen before, a day that I will never see again. And, you know, I'm thanking God for being in the race. The Apostle Paul, when he's coming near the end of his race, he said, you know, I finished my race. You know, I kept the faith. I've stayed my course, you know. So God, having brought me back from the hell of a wrongful conviction in the penitentiary, I've dedicated my life and rededicated it to fighting for justice, particularly with the plight of the wrongfully convicted and overly convicted, the mentally ill, okay, the poor, the people that have had poverty criminalized against them. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Yes, they have, you see. And so to fight for them. And I'm proud to say, as I've always said, 46,000 lawyers in the state of Michigan. I think I'm probably the only one, office hours, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., and on Saturday and Sunday, 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. So it's really unique hours, but really in all seriousness, I have to be able to do that at times to reach people that are destitute, people that have fallen through the cracks, safety net. You know, some of these people wasn't even no net at all, wasn't even no damn net. You know, I mean, it's bad enough to say you fall through the safety net. It's a terrible thing to not have no damn net at all, you know, and so no chance, you know, and the only thing that can break your fall, you know, is blood and bone. That's a terrible situation to be in. So I'm proud to be here and being able to fight for God's people, you know, God's people, and to finish my race strong. So that's why I'm here, y'all, and I'm proud to be here with Reverend Tia and Trisha, our leader, J Love, you know, and all the other people, you know, that are here, you know. So well, here we go. Okay. See, you know. Look here. If you find yourself on Trouble Boulevard, push, pull, tow, drag that hoopity to Mack Street. Mack Street. Park in my virtual underground garage. And when there, call the Freedom Line. 734-239-3118. The Freedom Line. 734-239-3118.
The
The Freedom Line. 734-239-3118. HMAClaw.com is your hookup. HMAClaw.com is your hookup. HMAClaw.com is your hookup. You tried the rest, now come to the best. Now, you know, J Love, I know people are out there. You're a woman of character integrity. You don't speak it. I know what happened. People put note on your car, you know, stopping this woman on the street, trying to write this woman an anonymous email, wanting J Love to kick me off the show. See, I know it. I know what's happening. But you know what, J Love? To all the haters out there, I quote my late cousin Bernie. I ain't scared of none of y'all. So see, so that's the thing about it right there that I want you to understand, haters. I ain't scared of none of y'all. And J Love, you know what? It's gotten so bad now. I keep getting all these visits from this one guy supposed to be my friend. You know, I'm gonna tell you what he's doing to me, J Love. This man come to my house again and again and again. Now, you know, J Love, I suspect he trying to really like start something with my woman, because J Love and Reverend Tia, I don't even be home and he just keep on coming. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know what I need to do, J Love and Reverend Tia. Help me, because I don't want to hurt nobody, but I need to get on the right track. I need to take some of these damn knives out my back. You see, so, you know, J Love, I'm not one to bemoan things, but I always want people to know one thing. We always got an ace in the hole, always got an ace in the hole. And, you know, J Love and Reverend Tia, to the tune of my theme song, Return of the Mac, excuse me while I introduce for some and announce for others, not just the Boogaloo, the German Boogaloo. So to the tune of Return of the Mac, J Love and Reverend Tia, here we are. And the German Boogaloo. And J Love, introducing to some, reintroducing others, a verification of our new dance, the Janus. And no presentation is complete without my co-partner, Reverend Tia, from Pulp Fiction, Batman. So, you know, J Love, that's my theme song, Return of the Mac. And you know, J Love, I want to say one thing. I know people ask you questions, J Love. I don't know why you keep that crazy man on there. But you know what, J Love? I'm going to say this right now. I know people ask you, J Love, does that man really mean everything he be saying on there? You're damn right I do. See, so I want y'all to know one thing. This announcement is endorsed, written by Dr. Hugo J. Mack, Esquire, the one true king of Russia, Scotland, and Southern Harlem. Thank you so much, J Love, Reverend T, all y'all, all the people listening. I love you.
Thank you, Attorney Mack. And for those who might listen later, Attorney Mack is actually dancing. He is actually doing dances in this segment. Okay.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Attorney Mack.
We love you.
This week, as I was just saying, it's we're talking about accountability and justice. We're just having a free conversation. Tricia hasn't popped in yet, so we could just get started. Attorney Mack or Reverend Tia, whoever wants to start first, about, you know, what's going on this week, what we need to highlight. I know, Attorney Mack, you did send a follow-up text email to the state rep, Jimmy Wilson.
That's true. That's true.
I didn't see anything that he had responded yet, but
well, his staff did, and I'm sorry if I did not forward that to you, J Love, but you know, it's in the hopper, and they're appreciative for it. So, you know, if it's okay, I'd like to talk about that sometime tonight, if it's all right, because the people need to know exactly what's going on, J Love, and what is happening. Oh, well, okay. Well, look, you know, when people don't vote, some terrible, terrible things can happen, you know. And I don't know what I do if I run into another black person and tell me they ain't voting because it don't mean nothing, and you know, it's all rigged anyway. You know, our vote is our voice. You know, we can change things if we get together and gang up on these people, because they damn sure been ganging up on us. Okay, you know, and I ask people all the time, you're telling me you want to argue me? One guy, he want to get up in my face, you know, and say, you know, if so-and-so politician will come and knock on his door. It was a governor's race that year. If this woman don't come knock on his door and ask for his vote, he ain't voting. I said, wow. So all these right-wing Republicans, you know, they showing you what they think about you, but it's okay. It's okay for you to, you know, don't demand nothing of them. You know, they wouldn't be caught dead in your neighborhood, day or night. day or night.
Right.
Okay, but anyway, and when I talk about the vote, J Love, it segues into, we have an opportunity now in the state of Michigan. For the first time in like 40 years, the Democrats control the governor's mansion, they control the Senate, they control the House of Representatives, and they control the Supreme Court. I mean, those are all the pieces we need. And so please don't anybody misunderstand what I'm about to say. I'm not saying black people ought to be in love with the Democratic Party. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, on the whole, the Democratic Party will give black people a headache, but a lot of the Republican Party will give us a lobotomy. So what I'm saying, look here, and don't y'all use that without giving me credit for that. Now I'm the one that so you know I can deal with a headache. I'll be pissed and I'll be mumbling and groaning, but I know at the end of the day, with Lord willing, I'm gonna come back to my right self. Okay, I know that. But with a lobotomy, I don't know where I'm at. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. And what's happened is, with the election of John Engler, a lot of very bad things happened for people of color in the state of Michigan. Bad things. One terrible bad thing that happened was they changed the parole board from a civil service board, like a civil servant, maybe a teacher or an administrator, working for a postman, working for the public, to a political board where the governor appointed the members of the parole board. Now, some people may say, well, so what? It don't mean nothing. It means everything. It means everything. Because under the Engler administration, with the political board that he put on there, their mantra was life means life. I'm going to say it again. Life means life. You see, in the state of Michigan, you can be sentenced to prison for life without the parole for first-degree murder, for felony murder, okay? But you can also be sentenced to life imprisonment for second-degree murder with the possibility of parole. So that means there's some hope. If you have second-degree murder, there's some hope for redemption in the future. Even with first-degree murder, there's some hope, but it's got to be from a governor's commutation, which are extremely rare for first-degree murder, extremely rare, okay? So, but the problem is, J Love and Reverend Tia, when some people were convicted and sentenced to prison for life, that means, other than first-degree murder, that means life with the possibility of parole. But with the Engler administration and the political board, when they say life means life, they're saying if the judge says life for second-degree murder or a CSC or some other kind of thing, they're talking about life. They're talking about life. They're saying skip that 10-year review crap. They're talking about life. And that is so wrong. That is not what the law says. But that's the discretion that you give the parole board, because the executive branch has got a decision to make in the system. They decide how long a person stays in. The legislative branch decides what the law is. The judicial branch sets the bookend. Okay, I'm gonna give you, Mr. Splementhaler, 5 to 15 years. So all three branches of government have got a role to play, and all three of them are affected by elections. Back to Representative Wilson. Because we have Democrats there now, we have a chance to move some legislation forward. Qualified immunity is the biggest one on my radar, okay? But part of the problem is, as I've told you, and Reverend Tia was hot, boy, she was hot. Hey, and J Love, I could see some steam coming from your head too. So when I broke down what it really was and it wasn't, I'm sure y'all remember that show. Y'all remember that show?
Yeah.
Reverend Tia said, "Wait a minute, I need a moment to decompress." Look, I understand. I feel the same way. So what's happening is now we have an opportunity to put forth some legislation that that will change the way things are. So if you or I have a loved one or just any person in the penitentiary, disproportionate Black and people of color, by the way, if you earn a parole, remember, it's the executive branch that decides how long you're in there in that bookend. You can be paroled early, or the first chance, the mid chance, or you can max out. You can max out, you know? And so what's happened is the Michigan court rules were changed and the law was changed to say, if a man or woman earns a parole, okay, the parole board says we're reasonably assured you can be a productive member of society and go out, you know, and rebuild your life. Okay. First of all, the people that watch you the most are the best qualified to judge. Okay. See, the prosecutor in Washtenaw County, he don't watch nobody that's in the penitentiary. You know, the police in Washtenaw County, they don't watch nobody in the penitentiary. The governor up in the mansion in Lansing, she don't watch nobody in the penitentiary. The people that have the contact with the people in the penitentiary are those guards, those resident unit managers, those wardens, those psychologists, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if a man or woman earns a parole, that is something very significant, very significant. But what the law says now, if you earn a parole, the prosecutor's got the right to go to the circuit judge, let's say in Washtenaw County, if you're out in Washtenaw County, and tell the judge, the parole board is wrong. Mr. Mack should not be out at all. He doesn't deserve to be out. And the judge can say, well, okay, I'm listening to what you got to say, and I'm letting Mr. Mack respond. The law says that judge can tell the parole board, hey, look, I don't care if you're all bunking with the man or woman. You're wrong. I'm snatching this parole. I'm sending that man or woman back in the penitentiary. Okay. That's a devastating thing. But what makes it even more worse is that if you are denied a parole, your loved one is denied a parole, there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
There is no legal remedy to appeal the denial of a parole in the state of Michigan. Okay. What a fantastically inequitous, and it's not just a wrong thing, my sisters. That is an evil thing. That is an evil thing, okay? Because particularly with a political board, remember now, political, appointed by the governor. Mm-hmm. With a political board, if somebody wants to say, we're going to send a message that don't commit no crime, whether you did it or not, you damn sure better not be convicted of it. I'll tell you that. You better not be convicted of it because you got nothing coming. Okay. And we will keep you in there indefinitely. Okay. So when you got a political board, there's no check and balance. You know, everybody needs to have a check and balance. As an attorney licensed in the state of Michigan, there's a check and balance on me. The Supreme Court has set up a whole protocol if you want to bring charges on me. And I'm not worried about that because it has to be that way. You can't have rogue lawyers out there, you know, disrespecting people and violating people's rights and letting innocent people go to jail while they're sitting up there trying to suck up to the prosecutor. You can't do that. So I don't mind the review. I welcome review, you know, but so J. Love, what I've asked Representative Wilson to do, and if the Republicans were running the state house, we would have no chance to get this legislation in front of them at all. So that's what I'm asking them to do, is to rewrite the law to say, if you are denied a parole, let that person have a chance to go to the circuit court the same way the prosecutor can go if you granted a parole. That's all I'm asking. And you know, J. Love and Reverend Tia, you know what really is something that really steams me is that when I bring up things about equity, they act like I'm asking for something special. Like I'm asking some kind of an advantage. Oh, y'all, and we all know who y'all is. We all know who y'all is. You know, y'all always trying to get something for nothing. You know, you didn't earn that. You're just trying to play that race card. You know, so that's why.
Did Attorney Mack go out, Reverend Tia?
I'm back now. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Was that me? I apologize. All my system is reading good. I apologize. Hey, could be the government. Could be the government. Look, y'all. Hey, J Love. I'm like Sam Riddle now. I done got Sam Riddle syndrome. Sam Riddle saying, "Oh, what the hell?" Every time I'm getting ready to talk, what's wrong with the microphone, man?
You were saying a lot. You was giving out too much info, Attorney Matt. So, Attorney Matt, let me get this right.
Is it me? Okay, I'm sorry. So
no, you're good right now.
So J Love, that's why I'm saying we need to support Representative Wilson and people like him to at least bring this to the forefront, because if we don't talk about it, they're not going to talk about it. They're going to pretend like everything is all right, and it's not all right. So that's one of the things I want to talk about. And then, of course, about the infant mortality rate studies that have come out, disproportionately affecting Black people. I want to talk about that too, because I think there's something systemic in that also. So,
and you know what? We need to find his colleagues and do the consortium so we can see who collectively, at least in Michigan, who do we need to support on all facets, because we got to see who's behind what we're talking about, what our needs are, what, we do need more balance.
That's right.
And they know we need more balance. They know that we have not been getting the fair share of anything, especially when it comes to justice in the courts. So we need to do that.
So, Attorney Matt, my thing is back to what you were saying. So when you go to the parole board, when it's your time to have a parole hearing,
yes, ma'am,
they could deny you.
That's right.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Absolutely correct.
So even though it's your time could be, almost up.
True.
I mean, and I think Dwayne talks about this a few times. I think he said that he had to, his time was up and he had to go towards, and they said no or whatever, and he had to serve more time.
Right.
So in Michigan, you're saying that's the thing here, where you can go to the parole board, and the parole board, for whatever reason, they don't even have to give you a reason.
That's J Love, exactly correct. They've got this little barely a paragraph. Okay. The parole is denied. At this time, the parole board has no interest in proceeding further with your parole. That's it. So J Love and Reverend Tia, you could have a high probability of parole. What happens is there's a grid sheet when you're eligible for parole. There's a grid sheet that they fill out, and you get points for certain things. Okay, no tickets. What kind of programming have you been in? Have you gotten a GED? In any event, what happens is, even if you have a high probability of parole on the parole board guideline sheets, the parole board can say, we don't care nothing about that. You could have 100 on you. You could be perfect. You ain't going nowhere.
Wow. That's insane.
And J Love and Reverend Tia, think what that says to the man or woman who is desperately fighting for freedom. Think about that. Think about that. Okay. I can tell you from personal experience, many times it was like I had to swallow hot lava. Okay. Inmates, confronting me, petty nonsense, wanting to fight, gang bang kind of things, racist guards making statements, the N-word. And you know what really gets me? Most of the people in this state, if you told them there are guards working within the Michigan Department of Correction that are racist, that will openly use the N-word when there's just you and them, and you tell them that happened, oh, you making that up. So.
I know at the summit, Marvin Cotton was talking about being in the hole, and he was saying that it was during the winter. And he was talking about how they had the windows open.
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally snowing in there. And then, people were complaining. And so later on, they would turn the heat up so hot that you literally had to take all your clothes off. And he said they would be mocking them. Now, is you happy it's hot now? You said it was cold, now it's hot. These things. And it's, it was triggering just to listen to it for me as a mother, thinking, what my kid had to go through in this situation, in this institution, but how he was talking about this and that they were mocking them and triggering them and doing all kinds of things like they want to. It sounds like a mental thing, like they trying to beat you down mentally instead of correcting. How do you correct something if you're trying to beat somebody down mentally?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's not possible. It's not possible at all. And they get while you're in prison, infraction upon infraction. I remember listening to that was the way he was speaking, and how when you go in and you're trying to understand what has happened, especially when you are wrongfully convicted and you're trying to get more information on how you can possibly get out, and having to become your own lawyer behind bars, and get information on how to work within the system to gain your own freedom that should have been yours in the first place. This is what gets me, is that when people come out, they want you to be so happy and, well, at least you're out now, but you should have never been in. And that's the thing about it, is that um it's an injustice, but getting those small infractions while you're in there, sometimes the guys are younger than most of them are, and women too, are at a very young age sometimes when they've gone in, and then they're doomed to get another infraction behind bars, because of sometimes it's not even knowing who to follow, and you need to follow somebody when you get behind there, because you're not sure who's going to protect you and who's not. How can you survive behind there unless you find a good leader, or somebody who has some kind of protection already?
right.
It's so many. The equation is just too long of how many times a person can get one infraction on another, and then because you get infractions, you're in a system that is supposed to be right or just, but it's not, and yet society is acting like it's a just system.
Yeah, because people, I mean, you can have these conversations with people, but they'll say, well, you're in jail. It's not supposed to be this, or it's not supposed to be that. But then anything you do, you're going to get an infraction, right? But anything somebody else is doing against you, there's no accountability. So
That's
it's
right.
all one-sided, and it's injustice. And
Right.
so if you think that that's corrective, if you think that punishing people and doing things to people is corrective, then we have the wrong idea of what is correction.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
And
That's
you
right.
know, J11 Reverend Tia, if I can just say this from my personal experience, anybody who tries to stand up in the penitentiary to these guards and these administrators can expect retaliation beyond measure. Okay. You know, they subjected me to what they call diesel therapy. Okay. Diesel therapy. You know what diesel therapy is? See, a lot of these buses that the Department of Correction uses to transport people, these are diesel engines, not gasoline, they're diesel engines. Okay. And so diesel therapy is a phrase, if you will, a truism for if you cause trouble, if you write over 375 grievances like I did, if you author over 12 federal lawsuits for staff corruption like I did, they got a way to deal with you. You better believe they got a way to deal with you. Okay. Okay. You know, like they dealt with me, you know, coming by from chow, which is meals, you know, come back, razor blade in my cell, razor blade, you know. Mac, what's this? I said, I don't know where that come from. Okay. Okay. That's what everybody says. Okay. You know, Mac, pack up. You riding out tonight, not tomorrow, tonight. Okay. You know, you know, you know, we're going to send you so far up north, you'll think you in Alaska. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Okay. So why? Was it because I had drugs? No. Because I was, hitting people in the head with a lock and taking their money? No. Because I was inciting a riot? No. Why? Because I was challenging them and the system with the sparse tools that we had. I want to tell y'all something. When I came out from the penitentiary and through the grace of God and Jesus Christ had my law license restored, I wrote a book. I've never talked about it really on this show, you know, but I think it's time I talk about it now. I think it's time I talk about it now. I wrote a book dedicated to explaining the criminal justice system from A to Z, okay? Telling people what the law says, what their rights are, what their responsibilities are, okay? Fully annotated, you know, all authority to the sky, okay? And I got private funding for that book and self-published it, all right? And what I did was I sent that book to every prison library in the state, okay? Every prison, free of charge. Sent that book there to every prison library in the state. Do you know that after that book was originally accepted and put on the shelves in the prison law libraries, the director of the Michigan Department of Corrections ordered every one of those books taken off the shelf and destroyed? And when I fought them, they had the head of their legal department fight with me, a woman fight with me. And I said, why would you do that? Is it because the book has got erroneous information in it? No. Is it because it's not well annotated? No. Then why is it? Because it sets a negative tone for people that need to be rehabilitating. Okay. Your book is giving them something to fight the system with. They're not in here to fight the system. They're in here to pay a debt to society. That's why they're here, Mr. Mack. And I said, well, hold it. There's a guy named Dan Manville, okay? He spent some time in the penitentiary for manslaughter, came out, got his law license, writes all kinds of books, and they allow them in. I said, so how is it Mr. Manville's books are in and my book is not? After you accepted originally, no response. No response. So what I'm saying is, and it's my prayer that one or two of those books still survives in somebody's personal library in their Foot Locker. I hope. But I guess that's why I want y'all to know a little bit about expose my soul to y'all, you know, that's why I'm in this fight so hard. Okay. So hard, because when you say, our leader, Janice, that they don't want things better, people need to realize how very true your statements are, Janice Green, how true they are. Okay.
Attorney Mack.
Yes.
You don't have you don't have the original copy of the book?
I've got a few. You know, I've got a few. I didn't send them all out. You know, I've got a few. But you know, I wrote that book back in 2012. Copywritten too, by the way. You know.
Well, I see a 2024 revision coming. You know, I'm
Right.
gonna help you do that and get that done.
Right.
Don't
We
you
need
you
that
feel me?
book.
You feel me? We need
Yeah.
that book.
Well, well, maybe y'all just give me the encouragement to do it, you know. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they
yeah.
uh,
That's we gotta have that.
they destroyed all those books. They destroyed them.
Because knowledge is power, Attorney Matt.
That's right.
So when we're giving people knowledge and they know how to
Mm-hmm.
maneuver and speak
Mhm.
for themselves and
Right.
advocate for themselves,
Right.
now you're giving them power.
Right.
And they don't want you to have power.
Right.
Literally, they
Right.
want you to be like when Marvin was talking about they was making them cold and hot and cold. They want to break you
That's right.
so you won't challenge anything.
That's
You
right.
won't
Right.
say
That's right.
anything.
That's
And
right.
so you can serve out your whatever your sentence
Mhm.
meek and
Mhm.
mild and not speak
Right.
up of injustice or anything inhumane that's happening
Right.
to you.
Right. 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 Y'all. Excuse me. Just 1 second. I'm gonna cut the video for a minute. Just 1 second. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Rabbitier,
Yeah.
we got to get Attorney Matt.
That's a book. I see a couple books we gotta get behind. You know,
Yeah.
that I know from the people that have been on, and sometimes they've already gone through the experience, and they can talk about it. And once they can talk about those experiences, and get that down. Oh yeah, we got some books because the books help to educate in the ebooks,
Mm-hmm.
and the audible books, so people can hear and listen. And because faith come by hearing, hearing by the word of God, but that's how your learning happens. That's all learning. That's all
Right.
learning. Um, you
And
gotta
families
put
can
it into your ear.
utilize that information.
Yeah, it's gotta go
That's
in your ears. It's gotta go throughout your mouth. You gotta look at it. You gotta see it. You gotta start knowing these things on the inside, so you know what to do and how to respond.
right.
I
Because we keep looking for somebody else to do the work for us.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
really, we have to do it for ourselves.
We got to.
Nobody is going
Yeah.
to come out here, like Attorney Mack said, they're not going to help you or save you or,
Mhm.
say, hey, that's not right. You guys, maybe we should that's not going to happen.
Mm-mm.
So it's going to
Mm-mm.
take you. It's going to take
Yeah,
you to do that work. Go ahead, Rabbit
exactly.
Tea.
I wanted to mention, I know Trisha is coming, but just I wanted to talk about her because she's not going to talk about her. Trisha never mentions herself. Uh, you know, and I know they had the summit, and but I wanted to. I started looking back at the when I met her, and of course through you, Jay, and us coming together, and then getting through the pandemic and all of that. But I looked at Survivors Speak that she founded, and she founded that in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Survivors Speak is 23 years old, and Trichet is the founder, the activist, and she has aimed for 23 years to give voice to survivors of sexual violence, domestic, or sexual violence, police brutality, inhumane treatment. She's held and led, I don't know how many protests. I was going to ask her when she got on how many protests that she organized. Um, and of course, she was on the front line for the inhumane treatment in prisons, especially for the women's prison in Washtenaw County. And I like how she has always said she's God ordained to be an advocate for justice. So I know she's not on now, but whenever she gets on, as we continue what we do here, we recognize those people who stand for justice. And I thank Hugo Mack because he has always stood for justice, and his
Right.
life, speaks that. Um, and Jay, for you being able to start turning a moment into a movement, it helps us to continue to move forward. So I was really glad about having this conversation tonight. And okay, Attorney Mac,
Well,
I know you
look,
took a moment, but I just want you to know I wrote down, on my calendar to get with you on the book. I'm gonna get you through November, December. I'll be knocking on your door January, so we can get it started.
well, look here. I know you believe me, okay? I know you believe me, okay? But I just wanted to show you this is the Mac manual right here. This is the book. This is the book,
wow.
okay? And it's got I can't remember, what do you call this kind of backing on these kind of books? It's it makes it easy to turn the pages.
Yeah.
It's
I
but
forgot.
anyway, this
Yeah.
book, and I'm doing it there. See them pages?
Mhm.
Enough pages to make you a little fan. Okay, so what I'm saying is this book is what used to be inside the Michigan Department of Corrections Penitentiary. Okay, I put a lot of my life, blood, and effort into writing this book.
Yeah.
I was a man on a mission because I left so many men behind that did not deserve to be there. They did not deserve to be there. And some of my closer friends have died in a penitentiary. Okay. But, their sacrifice is not in vain. When I look at Gerard, his sacrifice is not in vain because we're not going to stop. We are not going to stop. So what I'm saying is that if I can do it based on my life experience to do this, other people can do it too. Okay. And so, maybe the vast majority of inmates never got a chance to read the book, but I pray somebody did before, they destroyed it. Maybe somebody said, hey, wait a minute. That evidence really should not have been, introduced against me. My rights were violated. Why didn't my attorney say this or bring this up? This is the ammunition they needed. This is what they needed, and which is why they took it. So I just had to say that, y'all. All the years I've been doing this, I never brought it up, but the Spirit told me now's the time to bring it up. So here we go.
And those of you listening, I know that some of you have people behind bars that that you can help with that book. We'll give you some details on how you can get a copy of that book soon. We'll come back with that. Just give us a moment. Give us a moment. A little bit of rebranding and get some pictures. I got you. Attorney Man.
Or we can make it an ebook.
Yes, the ebook. I already see it. Yes, yeah, we about to do it. That's okay, Jay. We'll
we will work it out. We got
We're gonna work it all out.
Where
people can download it. And
that's right. No problem.
It's an easy read.
Yeah.
It is, and I'm glad you said that, Tia, because I wrote it for that specific purpose. It is an easy read. Seriously. It is an easy read, and I know I'm biased, but I don't anybody, you don't have to have a high school diploma to read this book. You don't have to have a high school diploma to read this book to understand it. So, but anyway, thank you all, and thank you for listening. I love you. I mean it. Thank you.
We love you, Mac.
Yes, Attorney Mac, and it's accountability. That's what we're talking about, and it's accountability. And so, I was listening. I was on James Jones, his Sunday night podcast, and Dwayne was actually on there as well, and he was talking about himself. And this lady who was on there, I forgot what she does, but she said something that really stuck with me. She said that our community is also need to take accountability for wrongful convictions. And when she said that, she said, because we didn't fight for you. And so she told Dwayne, like, I didn't stand up for you. I didn't fight for you. So I want to apologize to you on behalf of the community, because I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. And I heard your family talk about it. I heard the stories on TV and I didn't do nothing. And I was like, wow. And when I thought about it, and so she was saying, as a community, we don't stand up for people. We hear the stories. We hear the families advocating. We don't look it up. We don't do anything. And that's a problem too. And so when we're talking about accountability, I think as a community, we also have to take accountability as well, about not standing up, not supporting, not listening, not we know these things happen,
That's right.
but because it's not personally a happening to you or your loved ones, it's not a thing for you until it does, until it knocks on your door. Now it's an urgent matter for you. But it shouldn't have to come to your door. It shouldn't have to become an urgent matter for you because it's happening to somebody in your community. It's happening to somebody's son. It's happening to somebody's daughter. We should all be a part of standing up for them. And because we don't stand up for them, we have these agencies that take advantage and they do things. Like Attorney Matt, you know how you was describing, because we don't stand up, we have a whole prison industry that does these things because we, as the citizens on the outside, don't stand up. We believe the narrative that because they're in there, they are deserving of that treatment. They're deserving to be in the snow, or they're deserving to be in 100, 200 degree, just inhumane treatment. And then when they come home, you're applauding, you're giving parties and all this stuff, but you didn't even stand up for them when they really needed you. So when the lady, she gave Dwayne this, I wish he was here, because she gave him this most awesome apology. And when she said that, I was just like, wow, she's right. We as a community need to take accountability as well for the things that we're not doing. How do we expect somebody else to take accountability and we don't even take accountability?
Yeah. And that was healing. That's healing. That's healing. That was healing for Dwayne. It was healing for her. We need to heal our communities.
It was healing for
And
me.
that is, yeah,
Just listening to
taking
her.
responsibility. Yeah. It starts within. It starts within each and every one of us. What are we accountable for? Who did, even listening to us, was it put on your heart to write somebody behind bars to show support? Did you do it? Did you follow through? Did you write the congressperson? What are we doing individually and then collectively? But what are we doing individually first? Are we accountable? Yeah,
Yes,
that's
and
good. That's
so
good.
yes, and so next year, after the new year, we got Attorney Matt. We're gonna do some accountability stuff. We're gonna do sessions where we are gonna talk about how you write a letter, how you send an email, how can you find out who's your congressperson. I was listening to a broadcast and they was asking people, just random people on the street, do you know who your congressperson is? And they said no. So when Attorney Matt, when you're talking about, voting, people don't even know who to vote for because they don't even know how to go find out who they need to vote for. So, as we organize, we have to educate. We're telling these stories, we having people come on and explain to you what happened to them, but we don't even know what's the next step. We want somebody else to give us the step. Or we're waiting for somebody else to tell us what to do. So we're gonna take time out to give out next steps, because we have to be accountable. When the lady said that, I didn't stand up for you, I heard the story, I heard the news report, I heard all of this stuff. It was in my community and I didn't do anything. I didn't even say anything. I didn't reach out to your family. I didn't do anything. And as a person in your community, I should have stood up for you.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. Yeah.
So I think we have to, we have to change the narrative. We only can get what we put out. We only can attract what we put out. If we're not putting anything out, we can't expect anything back.
That's right.
So
You know. So, and J Love, I know in any war, it's a bunch of battles. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's not going to make it through the battle. King didn't make it. Malcolm didn't make it. Medgar Evers didn't make it. A bunch of people didn't quote unquote make it. But once again, I've come back. Their death was not in vain. Because and I don't know. Just speaking about my own experience, I guess the comfort I know, and I believe all of us know, is that at the end of the day, the question is, did you make a difference? Did you even try to make a difference? And you touched me, J Love, when you talk about the woman that said, I didn't do nothing. I could have done something, but I didn't. And being in the penitentiary, it's especially if you don't deserve to be there, it's a terrible thing. But that woman, she had a lot on her soul. You know what I'm saying? I mean, can you imagine what it must feel like knowing that you could have done something, you should have done something that might have made a difference in an innocent man or woman going to the penitentiary, something, and you just didn't, and prayerfully with that lady that she will dedicate at least part of her life to, I'm not going to be silent no more. I'm not going to do it. And I guess for me, trying to work with people coming out the penitentiary, some of them have been beaten down so badly, that's all they want to do is just get out and don't do nothing.
Yeah.
right.
So, just.
But we have to do. It's our duty.
Mhm.
It's our duty to fight for our freedoms. We say that, but it is our duty.
That's
It's our These are our people. That's being harmed. We can look across the ocean and across another country and see harm, but we can't even see the harm that's happening right next door and in front of our faces.
That's true. That's true.
We have selective outrage. We pick and choose what we want to be outraged about, but we're not outraged about the things that's happening right where we live. When you're talking about voting, and I was like, oh, I got on this perfect t-shirt. I got this from the summit. Trisha's. This was one of Trisha's t-shirts. Where they say, my vote matter, your vote matter, we matter, Black votes matter. Like, our votes matter. People take it for granted and say, my vote don't matter, and I don't go vote, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But in your community where you live, yes, your vote matter a lot. When you vote for the mayor picks the chief of police, right?
Yeah.
So if that person who's running for mayor is not aligning with what you believe in, are you going to vote for that person? Because they're going to pick other people that don't. When they start selecting their chiefs and all these other people, their whole squad is not going to be in alignment with you. It's going to be in alignment with how they think.
That's
what's their agenda.
That's
so
right.
if you're sitting back and not, making, this is your voice, this is your opportunity to say, hey, I ain't liking that. And then you go try to make a change. That's what you're supposed to do. And so when we don't do that, we'll go vote in droves for other stuff. Like when marijuana was on the ballot, and I ain't mad at y'all for what, but we went in droves because we believe your vote mattered then.
It sure did.
It mattered then.
It was most important. Most important
right.
then.
You threw that vote don't matter out the window. You went and voted for that, right?
That's right.
In the
So
same
all
way,
kinds of people in line didn't see him before.
right?
They came
Right.
from
People was
everywhere.
out there. They waited in line. They weren't complaining because they wanted that, right? So we know they made it happen in Michigan, right? So why you can't make it happen in your community, in your area, in your district,
Yeah.
by you have to pay attention. Like we can't just keep walking around here like, the answers is gonna fall out the sky. No, you're gonna have to do some work. So when the lady was saying this to Dwayne about, I didn't do anything. Like, she works, she is an advocate, but she was basically saying, like, I'm a part of the community. Like, I'm a part of you, your community, you're as a human, right?
Yeah.
And as a human being, I didn't do anything to make it better for you. I didn't stand up for you. And so we had to do more. And that takes us standing up is voting, standing up is writing, standing up for some might be protesting, standing up can be saying, hey, I'm standing up with this person, we're with this family, make their voice bigger. And if we don't do those kind of things, we're not affecting change because nobody thinks we are saying. Dr. King said silence is consent.
Right. That's right.
Silence is consent.
That's right.
It is consent.
For real.
And what's funny, I don't even say it's funny, it's mind-boggling that, many times you hear people will say, well, we are one, we're one. There's, I see the oneness, I see you, I see me in you, and but then, I must admit, people can sometimes have selective oneness, and I'm one with you, you and you. Oh, no, I'm not one with you, and where you don't want to identify or even try to see through someone else's eyes, through someone else's heart, what they've gone through, to see the reality or the truth of what might be happening in a situation. Then all of a sudden, well, I'm not one with that. Yeah,
Right.
you still are.
Right.
That's still a part. You're still a part of a community.
Right.
If you're here, if you're breathing, if you go to the store and have to buy food, you are still a part of a community. And you are a reflection of that community. And you can't just act like it doesn't exist, and I think that is just it's just asinine because politicians know, and they go after the votes of the majority of the general population. Why? Because that vote matters.
Right.
It really does. They're going to go after it, and it's a big deal. Why do you think many of the prisons are located in suburban or rural areas? Anybody got an idea of why? Because it gives them greater power.
Right.
Yeah, it gives them more population.
Right.
More voting power. So they've taken your loved ones out of their community to build another community and taken them far away from where they lived to make somebody else's vote matter.
Right.
I'm just saying.
And Reverend Tia, and they do it in a way where you counted as a member of that community in that county, but you ain't got no vote.
Exactly. How crazy is that?
Hey, look, y'all. I'm telling you,
count you, but you don't count.
Yeah, that's right. You ain't got no vote. Hey, at least in the olden days it was 3/5. Damn. Now it's 0. Damn.
But you counted.
Yeah, right.
You are counted.
Your body counts.
Right. But that's it. Nothing else.
Hey, y'all. You counted for that county getting money for schools. They go on that population thing. You know what I'm saying? You counted for that. You counted for revenue sharing. You counted for everything except the vote.
Right.
Exactly.
Somebody else, their
Count, but you
schools
don't
is
count.
wonderful.
Right.
That's because they got about 30,000 more people in their community. Ain't that
But
something?
they closed the prisons in Detroit. A lot of them.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
And look at the
right.
Oh,
schools
because y'all
falling
was counting.
apart.
Y'all was counting, but you didn't count. But y'all was counting.
We ain't count fast enough.
That's right. That's right, Reverend Tia. You hit the nail on the head, honey. That's right.
So,
I tell
and
you.
we have these conversations like, we just having a conversation, right?
That's right.
But these things make you say, you know what I'm saying? How you're right, Reverend Tia, they push you all the way up north, like you were saying, Attorney Matt. And then Attorney Matt, get this, when they was closing one of those prisons up north, the people was just devastated.
Yeah, that's right.
They didn't care that the numbers was going down. They wanted the prison to stay.
That's right.
They was
That's right.
fighting and everything to get that prison to stay.
That's right.
Because
That's right. That's right.
they was like, no, we have less people. We got
That's right.
no.
That's right. That's right. That's right. See, because Bubba and Billy Bob couldn't hold no job at the gas station, but they damn sure got in on that MDOC guard training, though, boy. They got that. See what I'm saying?
Right.
And so no.
This is big money for these other places. Meanwhile, it's nothing for you. Nothing for you.
Nothing.
And the stock market.
Yeah.
And the stock market. I had a dear friend of mine. We went down to Texas and ran a basketball camp at a detention center for youth. And was able to get in there and minister to some of the youth. And it just hurt me to see these young people, where the majority of them were going from that detention center into a prison once they turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys looked at me and said, well, you can't take it like that. You can't look at it like that, because it's just a business. And I think the look I gave him was piercing enough to say, I want to fight you right now. I know that's the look I gave him. And I never said anything. I just looked at him. And I may have said something, so you're a slave owner. I don't know. I mean, with my eyes. Because he called later and apologized. But what that told me was the idea that goes around in some of the people's mind that says prison is nothing but business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they said about slavery. It's a business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we got to know that. We got to know that and not so much what they're saying, but then what are you saying? What are we saying to ourselves?
Yeah.
And that's why we must take
believing?
action for those who know the truth and who want to make a difference.
Right.
It's up to us, like Jay said.
Right.
Nobody's coming. We got everything we need. We just got to use it.
Right. And we can't be afraid, you know. We can't be afraid. You know, when the first thing, when all this stuff started going down with Gerard, I was like, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do, but I know I'm going to do something, you know, and I didn't care about what the backlash or what I only thought about, hey, this is my kid. This is my son. And this is happening to him. So, but then as we've been evolving in this, Reverend Tia, and all of us on this journey, it's happening to so many people. Like these stories are all the same all over the United States. So we know it's systemic. We know it's racist. And we know that, we have to do something other than just say, oh my God, I'm praying for you. Yes, pray, but we also need some action behind the prayers. Faith without works is dead. Faith without action is dead. Yes, we can pray all day, but if we're not doing anything, if we're not activating anything, nothing is happening, right? So we have to figure out, as the lady was saying, how we can take accountability to do more, how we can stand up more, how we can, pass on information to others, how we can be a vessel of change so we can attract more change. And if we're not being a vessel for change, we're not going to attract anything. We still going to be bumping our heads, doing the same thing, expecting no, a different result. What is that? Insanity.
Right. That's right.
Insanity, people.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we have to take our insane selves and try something different.
Yeah.
Be a part of change. Not be so quick to accept the narrative. Like we believe in the narrative before we believe the truth. We believe in what everybody else is saying, the majority is saying, but the truth is there. It's always there. You have to choose. You have to choose the truth.
That's
and not
right. Choose
always
it.
believe what somebody else is saying.
That's right.
Search for yourself, read for yourself. It's there. These cases is here. We're not, you're seeing all these people exonerated because it's not happening. And they said this on Saturday. Some of it sometimes might be in a mistake, right? It could possibly be. But on the big end, it's not really a mistake. It's systemic. And then there's just some people that's just out here that does stuff. When we're talking about Mr. Bobo last week, that man, it was just a part of who he is. That 20 years later, he's saying racist stuff on a hot mic, on his mic. So before they had mics and cameras, what was he doing?
Right.
They don't want to dig that far. They're just going to dig right here. But we have to be the ones to say, hey, we need more. We ain't just going for that. But if we don't initiate anything, if we don't strike a conversation, if we don't ask the people to look, they're not going to look. When we're talking about voting and stuff, the person that's running, they know who votes, right? They research. They know who the people, if they're just majority of them are the elderly people, then their narrative is going to go towards the people who vote, the elderly people. They're not talking to you. They're talking to the voters. So the reason why you feel disgruntled or the reason why you don't feel like there's no hope is because you're not participating. So nobody sees you. They're not talking to you. They're talking to that 10% or that 20% section of people who they know gonna show up, right? So to change the game, you got to show up. You showed up and got Donald Trump out of here. So who's trying to come back? But anywho, that's a whole other story. I don't even get to go there. But I'm just saying.
Well, we got to do it again, J Love. We got to do it again. Like I said, J Love, I'm not saying I'm in love with the Democrats, but look, this come next November, I got a choice between a headache and lobotomy. I already know where I'm going. I'm getting me some Tylenol, some Excedrin, some Alka-Seltzer, because I know where I'm going. Because that other way, it's one thing to operate on somebody, but these people saying they want to operate on me with dirty tools. See, that's what I'm saying. They done went in their garage somewhere, J Love, Reverend Thea. They got them a sledgehammer. Got them a sledgehammer and a wedge. Say, come on now, put your black AWS up on this table now. It ain't gonna be long.
Right.
We can't be walking around here like zombies.
No, we can't. Right. We
So
can't
we
do
gotta take it off and get it together, people.
it.
Come on now. We need everybody to participate, right?
Right.
That's right.
They gonna come
Like
out in droves.
Trisha would say, I need all hands on deck on this one.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. So,
Yes,
You
indeed.
got t-shirt. You got to get yourself together. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out here and represent and
yeah,
stand up.
you know, and so
That's right.
and in part of the fight, I want to say this, at least for myself, I've got to support movements and prosecutors that are brave enough to address the big fish that's doing so much wrong, so much wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you what, maybe y'all ain't noticed, but I'm gonna bring it to your attention. Donald Trump has always had a low regard for Black women. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. You know, and Republicans as a group, because remember when Ronald Reagan was running talking about the welfare queen. Remember that? Picked out one woman who happened to be Black, was cheating, doing some welfare, and made a big old thing about her and castigated every Black woman in this country, okay, with sleaziness and loose morality and all that kind of stuff. The welfare queen. Remember that? Remember all that?
Mm-hmm.
And the woman that was with Donald Trump, Omarosa, remember her, was all up there with him, and then him and her fell out. He called her a female dog. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the kind of things that I notice and I look at that tell me a lot about that gentleman. But I know y'all have noticed Fonnie Willis is a Black woman. Letitia James is a Black woman. Okay. The brother that's prosecuting Donald Trump on that civil fraud thing or whatever that is in New York is a Black man. See, so what I'm saying is right now, he will never let it be out on social media by himself. But I know that man going down to Florida right now, he got him about 15 handguns, some machine guns, and I'm gonna tell you who them silhouettes are. Okay, so
Like they was doing out there in Farmington Hills.
Right. That's right.
Well, I thought about that right away too.
No, that's right.
Okay.
Yep. You know who them
Like they know.
silhouettes are.
These are this is so funny, now that I'm saying about Farmington Hills. Like, well, this is what they bought us.
They just gonna roll with it.
Right.
Hey,
I didn't have anything to do with these. Is what they bought.
Right.
You could take it back. Like, no, we're not gonna just shoot at Black faces.
Right.
We're gonna just get the regular black and white.
And there's something, like silhouettes with, with afros and kind of perms and process.
Yeah, and that does something to the psyche. I don't know why. Did they sue? Did they win? Did they do a lawsuit against that?
Hey.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is
God.
When you
programmed.
say it's programming, people be looking at you like, what? It is programming.
Right.
This is your target, right? And this is your only target. Every time you go to target practice, right?
Yeah.
So when you get out in the car, you see somebody with an afro or whatever.
He's suspect.
You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
You know what? I love y'all.
Did it.
Right. You know what? I love y'all because y'all see it. Y'all see it.
You know what? Once you wake up to, and I hate to, because if you say woke now, they're like, oh my God, the woke people. But when you wake up to the truth of who you are, you can't go back. You see stuff.
No.
You see it for real. You can't go back to sleep. You can't go back to
can't do it.
To the crap anymore. You is totally like, I see you. You can't
eyes wide open.
Right. And so, and that's a choice too. Some of us say, I'm gonna stay to sleep.
That's
I
right.
like it here. I like it here. I don't have to take no responsibility. I just go to work, come home. I'm good. You know,
That's
I
right.
ain't got to be a. But I'm telling you, that's not the place to be.
You know, J Love, I'm just gonna say this part right here. I agree so much with what you said. I remember a man was making an analogy to people like what you're talking about. He said, you know what? For y'all that ain't doing nothing and saying you safe, imagine you's in a pond, okay? A pond. And there's an alligator in that pond, right? Okay. And you're a duck. All right, you're a duck. But you got a whole bunch of other ducks in there with you, okay? Okay. And he said, for y'all not doing nothing, you know what only privilege you have? The privilege you have is you're gonna be the last duck eaten. See, that's the privilege you have because your ass ain't getting away. Okay, excuse me, you ain't getting away. Okay, you're gonna be in there with all the mother ducks, and because you in the back, your ass gets the privilege of being the last one eaten. And so,
Right.
J Love, I appreciate you and Reverend Tia so much because you know what? No matter what happened, I tell you what, the three of us, we ain't gonna be the last one eaten.
First of all, I ain't gonna be in the pond because I know alligators in there.
On the fly, time to fly.
Right, I'm out.
But you got
I'm
that
in the
right.
pocket.
You got that right.
I already know where the alligators at. I ain't
Right,
going that
that's right.
way.
J Love, and when I hear y'all talk, like you said, some of us we get so secure, we making decent money at the plant, and look, I got a little money stashed away, and I got me a new roof on my house. Stay in that pond all secure. Go ahead.
I know that's right. Go on vacation, something happen.
Right.
Or anything, you know what I'm saying? These things that we talk about can happen to anybody.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I was listening to one story with a man, he was just eating at Burger King. I'm just gonna go in here and give me something to eat. Eating his food, right? Not doing anything. Somebody accused him of a crime, and he spent like 20-some years in the Michigan Department of Corrections for something he didn't do.
Wow.
And he was just eating because somebody said he looked like somebody, and he's in prison. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it can happen to anybody. Somebody could just accuse you of something, and once the prosecutor decide that you're the person that they're gonna put their focus on, that's it. That's it for you. Look at Devontae Sanford, 14 years
Yeah.
old. They gonna say this 14-year-old kid went in here and executed all these people, right? And all the time there is a hitman. The hitman come and say, hey, this is me. I did it. I couldn't live with it. I did it. He done put A, B, C, D, E, F, G. He knows all the details of the crime and still let that kid sit in prison 7 or 8 more years because he was the focus and they put everything into that, and we ain't letting it go.
To build the case.
Right.
They put all the energy into building the case. Again, that's where we need to stop it at, because they are taught to build the case instead of building the right case, instead of building what is righteousness, instead of having justice in the case, letting justice be at the forefront. But no, they just want to build a case on whoever it is so that they can get somebody and close the case and win a case. We should be tired of these cases.
Right. And
I need my medicine still.
And so that's why, you got to pay attention. You got to educate yourself. You got to stand up, and you have to vote, people. Even if you don't want to, even if you feel like, hey, it don't mean nothing, do it anyway. Do it anyway. It can make the difference. Those few votes change the game for us having another 4 years of craziness, right? It was just only a few votes that changed the tide, even though they wanted to, they went on this whole thing said that they lied about the votes and all this stuff and went crazy and try to, those few votes changed it. And so
Yeah.
one
J Love,
person can change the whole thing.
I'm sorry. J Love, I know I don't want to keep us long, but can I just say something off topic a little bit about
Go ahead, Tiny
about
Mac.
about the orange man? Look here. Let me tell you something. He had this lawyer named Sidney Powell, a woman, right? Sidney Powell. Okay. Sidney Powell not about the same age. She might be a few years younger than me or whatever. I don't know. But you see, she was the one spouting all that yang. We got all this evidence, the election is stolen, the machines is rigged. Hugo Chavez from Venezuela, they done seanced his behind, got him up here stealing votes. Okay. All them things, right? Okay. That woman, and I'm telling you, it's just the beginning, y'all. It's just the beginning. When that woman realized, look, I'm 60-some years old, whatever it is. These people not talking about no federal Fed Med prison. We're talking about a prison in Georgia. Georgia. Okay. And what I'm telling you this, if you think Martha Stewart had a hard time in a federal prison, you put Sidney Powell in there, and I'm just gonna be honest. They got some rough sisters up in there. I'm just gonna be that woman said, to hell with you, Cheeto man. I need to keep my bodily integrity and virginity. I'm not doing this because I know if I go up in there, they're gonna have a lottery for me. And she's right. Now she done flipped, y'all. She done flipped. The other white lady, Jenna, whatever it is, kind of a younger white lady, she was up there spotting for Trump. She done flipped. Another man that was with Trump, he done flipped. So what's going to happen is when these people realize that Donald Trump is not saving them, they're going to say, oh, hell no. Hell no. I'm not going in this place by myself. And we done castigated all these black people of color too. And you're going to put me right in the middle of that? Because I'm telling you right now, y'all, the cards are crumbling in on this whole thing. And you might say, well, Attorney Mack, you shouldn't be happy about a court system. Why shouldn't I? My fight is against injustice. That's my fight. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not supporting people who's doing wrong and ripping off millions of people and lying and endangering the country and having them off. I never said that. I'm against injustice. I'm against racism and sexism and classism. But what's happened with Donald Trump, that's just well, in my mind, he's guilty. Okay.
In reality.
And it's not injustice. People think, oh my God, there's so much injustice. What's going on with him? No, that is not injustice. That is justice because people are holding him accountable.
I tell you what, and J Love, I guarantee you, that man got 91 charges against him. Okay, there's 3 of us here. Okay, so let's just give J Love 30. Let's just give Tia 30. And because Attorney Mack is here, let's give him 31. We'll make him special. Do you know that if we had this podcast, it'd either be from a county jail, a federal prison, or the state pen? J Love, we have to hook up with someone, you and Tia, at Huron Women's Facility, and me and Jackson.
Mm-hmm. we will be flying from state to state talking crap. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And didn't one of the judges just this past week told him that you got to shut up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, Tanya Chutkin. Thank you, J Love. Another black woman. Thank you so much. Thank you, J Love. I knew there was somebody I was missing. Yeah. Yeah.
These black women getting it in. Mm-hmm. They tired.
Definitely.
So,
Yeah.
guys, it's been a great conversation this week. Attorney Mack, I know you wanted to say something about the and let's I do want to hear that about the births.
Well, yeah, and I'll make it brief, y'all. I know the hour is getting late, but the infant mortality rate, what they do is they look at how many babies don't make it per 1,000 births. Okay, that's how they determine the infant mortality rate. And I'm saying the infant mortality rate has gone up overall, but with women of color, it's astoundingly up, astoundingly up. Okay, and I know I'm not telling y'all something you don't already know, but with health issues, we always at the bottom of the list, always. Asthma, emphysema, prostate cancer, breast cancer, stroke, coronary heart failure, diabetes, hypertension, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so the thing of it is that, they're trying to say, well, a lot of this is because of culture, which is true, and lack of access to proper prenatal care. And they said that with these laws that make it harder for a woman to exercise reproductive autonomy on her body, that some people are having kids that have been forced to try to have kids that really shouldn't. Their bodies, their health is not, proper and right, and it's disproportionately impacting black women, unfortunately. So, yeah.
And what I wanted to add too, Attorney Mack, was that we have to know the real deal, and that is when you look at healthcare for the general population and the general insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Doctors, and first of all, you're not going to get the best healthcare, first of all, off the bat. You're not getting the best healthcare because people who have higher insurance, who can pay for higher insurance
That's right.
companies, and they're going to get better modalities and treatments. They get better medicines.
That's right.
They can afford other medicines and treatment. And you have general population. A lot of doctors won't even take your insurance.
That's right.
And some
That's
of them
exactly
will
right.
only take. I've had several doctors say, well, we're already at our cap, which is 5% Medicaid. We only can take 5% of y'all. So I'm encouraging women. Along with that, one more thing is that the fact that you already have stigma and discriminatory practices that are embedded in healthcare anyway. So when the mother goes to the hospital or what have you, they don't always receive the proper attention that is required in order to really rightly identify what is actually happening for herself and her child.
That's true.
But again, like Jay says, we can't wait for anybody else. We got to investigate, learn, see what's going on with our bodies. What are some alternative methods? What can I eat and drink that's going to be healthy for myself and for my family? And I know we'll be able to have these conversations at some time and at least point you get people into the right direction, because there are answers and solutions.
Right.
And we have
And
to start within us.
and we have to listen to our bodies and not listen to somebody else telling you what your body is. This your body. So when you're feeling some kind of way, or you feeling off, or you tired or whatever, and you have to be your own advocate. You have to be able to stand up for yourself. And I Reverend Tia, when you said about the insurance company, they give you only so many doctors, right? If you're in certain plans, or if you get in state insurance or whatever, there's only so many doctors you can pick from, right?
That's right.
They're not the best doctors, right? These are the ones that they said, hey, we're going to give y'all these doctors to go to. And some of them are practicing medicine. It's practicing, right? It's called a
Mhm.
practice, and some of them really practice it. So you have
Yeah.
to be your own advocate. And so, yeah, it's systemic, but we can fight systemic. We could change the narrative. We have to, get around people who are making better choices, healthier choices. Um, we have to make healthier choices in our community. We need to start growing, and this is a whole conversation. Growing food. We got to stop eating all this chemical food. Now you look on these labels, a lot of it said bioengineered. Some of the stuff that you've been purchasing for years. Now on the back of it says bioengineered. Your body don't know what the heck that is.
Girl.
Your body don't know what that is. So we're eating fake food. And they're not saying that. They make it. I just see something where this man had a whole video when they making fake chicken. They don't even need a chicken.
Yep.
They make it they making a chicken in the lab, So you eating fake meat, drinking fake stuff. We gotta stop eating all. And guess what? They got on every corner in the neighborhood. You got a Coney, you got McDonald's, you got all these fake food places, and then you got to travel 10, 20 miles to get to a grocery store. So we had to advocate for ourselves. We need like some vegetable trucks. You got the ice cream truck. Maybe we need vegetable trucks. I don't know, but we have to want better for ourselves because these
Yeah.
things are happening. Those statistics been going on for a long time. It's just not,
Mhm.
and there's not, once it might get better for a minute and then it goes back off again. So it's us. We have to do it.
Yeah.
People getting paid thousands of dollars, millions of dollars to try to fix it. They ain't even coming up, who's holding them accountable to make, these programs where they have these programs where they're gonna, alleviate, these things, spend all this money and nothing happened. Somebody got rich or the program was fully funded. A lot of people made a lot of money, but Black
Yep.
women still are losing babies or they're dying themselves. So what did that tell you? It's not about you. It's
Yeah.
about another program that somebody could get, millions of dollars for. So we
Exactly.
just to figure
Exactly.
out for ourselves how we can change that narrative.
Right. And stop going to the destroyer for a solution.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's right.
We stay all in the oppressor's face. But anywho,
Trying to make a deal. Let's make a deal with the oppressor, the one who steals, kills, and destroys.
Right.
right.
Right. And Reverend Tia, like I said, for that deal, we done moved from the 20th duck back to the 28th duck.
We back.
Gotta stop being a duck.
Right. That's right. Reverend Tia, we done moved from the 20th duck to the 28th duck. Hey, and think
That's
we
right.
raising hell.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Like the
Help us,
lady
Lord.
said, we going right back to what she said. It's on us. We have to stand up. We have to take accountability, in our communities. We should be upset that is even a thing in 2023.
That's right.
Like
That's
this
right.
is that was going on in the 60s and the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And this 2023,
Mm-hmm.
we got all kinds of technology now. And you mean to tell me that Black women are still dying at a high rate in
Yeah.
childbirth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dying
And
twice as
children
much.
too.
Twice as much. That's right. That's
Mm-hmm.
right. Oh yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shouldn't be a
Yeah.
thing anymore. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, thank you guys. Next week, we're going to have on Philip Vance, his family on another wrongful conviction. We're going to do that. And then, so that's next week. Thank you guys. Reverend Tia, do you have something you want to leave us with?
Oh my goodness. Listen, I'm just so happy that we were able to do this and have this conversation tonight, and just keep knowing that the fight is not a fight, but the solutions are within. And just think for a moment, if we could turn the image of what we see. So what if we could start seeing what we want to see? So, all these little things that pop up on your computer screen, and you see the headlines, put some new headlines up there. Put some new headlines. Our headlines will say that the police are now accountable, that there's no more immunity. Do you feel that? Let's just say that there is no more
There is no more
immunity.
immunity.
They are held
No more.
accountable. Okay,
Boy,
we can start
Yeah.
seeing that and saying that every day. Let's get that going through our ear gates and through our eyes, and let it come out of our mouth, so we can start to see what we really want to see, so that we see that the healthcare is improving, and we see that communities are coming together, and we see that people are taking their villages back. We got some village leaders among us, and so we got secrets and solutions for healthcare. We see it, we feel
amen.
it, we believe
Amen.
it, and this is our time.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yes. And once you can see it, you can be it, you're going to
That's
feel
right.
it,
That's right.
and you're going to come up with
Yes.
all kinds of solutions. And, you're not going to be a victim anymore. You're going to be victorious.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes. Reverend Matt, attorney.
Okay.
Attorney
Yeah,
Matt.
Reverend Mac.
Well, hey, look here. I'll accept that too. Look here, y'all. Look here, y'all. You be the book of righteousness, whether you speak it or write it, that somebody needs to read here, because God has put a righteousness in you, not to be held in by yourself. You don't put a lamp underneath a table or a basket. You put it up there where it can light something and make it better for people. So I'm proud of y'all. I love my sisters, boy. I love my sisters. And thank y'all. So we gonna keep on doing this. And J Love, I don't care how many notes they put up on your car and be writing you and stopping you all in the streets. I know in your heart you're gonna do the right thing, J Love.
Right. I am attorney Matt. Like, stop asking me about attorney Matt. Yes. So again, you guys, thank you for joining us. If you would like to join us on Turning a Moment into a Movement, we do have an email. You can just email us at turningamomentintoamovement@gmail.com. So just send us an email and we'll answer you. So until next Friday, have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you soon. Good night.
Night.
Good night.